oak trees or so, is there a way that we can actually mark them to make sure that what they say they're gonna keep, they actually keep?
Absolutely. To go into a little more detail about the work that they've done already, they're not even in the city yet, but they've already hired a licensed arborist, who's actually our arborist that we use, Mariette Birds. She's gone out on property and she's actually surveyed every single tree on that site. And she's found that the nicest ones are actually the ones you can see, or really see towards the road. There's a big cluster of, it's a mix of invasive trees and some oaks, some, just mixed trees in the back that they're thinking of thinning out a little bit. But any good quality live oak is something that we're going to require that they save, and all of that information will come in front of you as part of that PE rezoning that they're going to be applying.
Any other questions? Once again, this is a public hearing. We will open the public hearing if anyone wishes to speak. Seeing none, we will close the public hearing, and we need a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 2527 and 2528 with,
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Ordinance 25-34.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 25-34, an ordinance of the city of Winter Garden, Florida, amending section 22-28 of Article Roman 2 of Chapter 22 of the Winter Garden City Code relating to peddlers, solicitors, and itinerant vendors to allow with homeowners associations to hold neighborhood events with mobile food dispensing vehicles subject to obtaining a special event permit, providing for conflicts, codification, severability, and effectivity.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ordinance 25-34 would amend the city's code section 22-28. It would add a new provision under mobile food dispensing vehicles, food trucks, to allow homeowners associations to apply for a maximum of 2 special event permits per year that include these food trucks. Currently, HOAs are only permitted to apply for 1 event per year that includes these vehicles. This ordinance will provide more opportunities for communities to hold budget-conscious community events, which is something that they've been asking us for a long time, while still protecting and supporting the city's local brick-and-mortar restaurants. And so with that, staff recommends approval and adoption of ordinance 25-34. If you have any questions.
Questions from the commission? This is a public hearing, so we will open the public hearing if anyone wishes to speak. From the podium, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Diane Hobbs, 3549 Turning Wind Lane, Winter Garden, Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is, does the event planning last for 24 hours, or how long does the permit last?
So HOAs would be required to submit a special event permit. As part of that permit, they're required to say the days, the times, the event area, all the specifications of that event. And we review it to make sure that there's not going to be any effects on local, residential communities, especially with HOAs. We're cognizant of if they have loud music or any amplified noise, we don't want that to go late into the night. So we take that into consideration when we approve those permits. And sometimes we work with them to either cut the hours back or get rid of the amplified music or speaking, etc.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing, and we need a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 25-34.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Regular business, resolution 25-10.
Yes, sir. Resolution 25-10, a resolution of the city of Winter Garden, Florida, amending resolution number 24-05 and resolution 24-10 to authorize an increase of the loan under the state revolving fund loan program to fund the city's construction, equipment, materials, demolition, and related procurement for GMP number 2 of the city's Crest Avenue wastewater treatment facility capacity expansion and process optimization project, and the cost of debt issuance, and if such loan application is approved, authorizing the execution and delivery of the loan agreement, note, and related closing documents. Such loan would pledge water and sewer system revenues and shall not pledge ad valorem taxes or be a general obligation debt, providing for conflict, severability, and effectivity.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
As Kurt said, this resolution authorizes the city manager to apply for and sign another SRF or state revolving fund loan for an additional $20 million for the wastewater treatment plant. Mayor, I know you want to know, it is at 1.64%.
Thank you.
Staff recommend approval of resolution 25-9. I'm happy to answer questions.
Well, since so much of this is due to new regulations, but we haven't received a check from DeSantis yet. Oh, I guess not. Okay. Okay. That's a good rate, though.
Yeah, it's a great rate.
No doubt. Questions from the commission? We need a motion.
Every time I drive by there.
I know.
Motion to approve resolution 25-10.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a couple seconds. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried unanimously. That is okay. Recommendation to waive formal procurement process. Yes, sir.
This is the last of 44, or an additional 44 lift stations, which will complete our modem and antenna updates. We previously hired Process Control Services LLC to update 57 lift stations. They reinstalled that equipment so we could reduce and eliminate overtime hours and help eliminate the communication failures. Prior to those first 57 lift stations being completed, we had from July 1 to August 1, 2025, 5,868 communication failures. That was in all lift stations. The 57 lift stations were completed on August 31st, and from September 1 to September 19th, we received 1,423 communication failures. So you can see the great improvement. 5 of those alarms were from the 57 updated, 3 of which were notices to tell us updates to the software. So there were only 2 alarms from that. By eliminating these calls, we will greatly reduce overtime hours. We're expecting to save $90,000 to $100,000 in overtime hours. Staff would recommend waiving the formal procurement process and hiring Process Control LLC Services to update 44 lift stations for a total of $113,734.45. That also includes $5,975.55, which staff is using to purchase the antenna from Amazon. Happy to answer any questions.
So you said this will complete all of the stations?
It completes all of the stations that didn't have software that could be updated. So all lift stations will be completed now or updated without having
It
to
all
purchase
kind of
new
will all in, so you won't need to do this, I guess,
in the near future.
in the near future. So it's okay. Okay. Questions from the commission?
It's nice you don't get so many false alarms too, because when it's going off, you know it's probably really, well, maybe a software update, but.
And the poor on-call people they'll get all night long, they'll get those, so.
Okay. Any other questions? Need a motion?
Where are we at?
2510 or?
We're on, for 113,000 to do the 44 lift stations.
Make a motion to waive the formal procurement process and hire Process Control Services LLC for $113,734.45.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, sir. Recommendation to approve Healthy West Orange Trails Connection. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The city is requesting approval of the funding agreement for fiscal year 2026 with Bike Walk Central Florida for our continued participation in the Healthy West Orange Trails Connection, or HWOTC for short. Since its inception, Bike Walk Central Florida has provided program facilitation services to support HWOTC. Bike Walk Central Florida anticipates that the City of Winter Garden's funding contribution of $20,500 is needed for fiscal year 2026 to continue the work that has already been started. Patrick Panza, who is the acting executive director, is that your title? Acting Executive Director of Bike Walk Central Florida, wanted to give the commission a brief overview of the program, including the work that has been done to date and what HWOTC will be working on in fiscal year 2026 and in the future. So with that, I'm going to pull up
Okay.
his presentation.
Thank you, Kelly, I appreciate that, and thank you all for your time. My name is Patrick Pans. I am acting executive director. At the moment, our executive director is on maternity leave, so my primary role is operations director for Bike Walk Central Florida. We're a local nonprofit working to improve safety and activity and opportunities for people to walk, bike, and roll in Central Florida. So, as Kelly mentioned, we have been facilitating the Healthy West Orange Trails Connection collaborative effort since its inception in 2021. And really what I wanted to do was just give you all an update on what everything has been going on. The last time we spoke with you all was actually in February of 2022. We were in front of this council, and at that point, this commission adopted a resolution to support and to participate in that collaborative effort for the Healthy West Orange mission. So prior to that, just to kind of recap how we got to that point, in 2020 and 2021, that was essentially laying down the foundation for what is known right now as the Healthy West Orange Trails Connection. It was the West Orange Healthcare District, now dissolved, in the Foundation for a Healthier West Orange, championing the Healthy West Orange Trails Initiative Working Group. Now, in short, what came out of that working group was a report that identified a number of implementation strategies and priorities. We had collaborate, connect, engage, enhance, navigate, identify, and empower. We have been working from that point on essentially chasing all of those initiatives, and I want to give you an update on what we have accomplished and what we're looking forward to in the future. So 2022 and 2025, we did a lot of work in framework, I would say. We created and then facilitated regular meetings of a steering committee that is comprised of a voting member from each of the 5 cities and towns in the priority area. We have an executive committee as well that meets monthly. We have facilitated and worked collaboratively with a number of working groups over the years, each designed to accomplish different sets of tasks. We had a communications and events working group that helped us get the name of HWOTC out there into the community for a while. We had a design and connections working group, which is now known as the Trail Network Development Working Group. A little more on that in a second. We had an enhance and restore working group that ran for a couple of years, and we were able to get out there on the ground and provide some direct enhancements to the trails in the area here in West Orange County. We're talking plantings, enhancements, and general cleanups. And then we had a safety working group as well. We also really jumped into planning and analysis after laying that initial framework in the initiative report. I know the text is probably small here for you all here, but I want to run through what we've accomplished just in really quick fashion. We've done 4 trail enhancement projects along the West Orange Trail primarily. We have done 6 trail safety audits. We've done 6 future trail corridor evaluations where we're advised by the members of staff of the towns and cities say, we're looking at potentially putting a trail here. Could you send your team out and find us some opportunities and constraints that we need to be aware of as we move forward. We've done 7 community events. We developed and published the Trailside Development Design and Policy Guidelines, a set of guidelines designed to give some information and insight to our land development professionals on how upcoming development adjacent to our trails, current and future, can be situated in order to activate, enhance, and promote the use of the trails that they're adjacent to. We performed a priority area trail gap analysis. We looked at all of the existing trails in the priority area, which is essentially all of West Orange County, and we filled in the gaps with some opportunities that we believe are important to Orange County and the 5 cities and towns to focus on closing those gaps and improve connectivity for residents. We worked on a funding sustainability plan. That's just an administrative facilitation thing to make sure that this effort, this collaborative effort, continues past the funding that was originally allotted by the West Orange Healthcare District. We also have created a grant program There was $5 million set aside through that gracious gift from the West Orange Healthcare District, specifically for implementation of projects aligned with this mission and vision. So we have created a grant program that facilitates the distribution of that funding to the partner cities and towns and applicants for that grant program, and we're really in the mix of that right now. To date, we have reviewed and in fact approved 2 grants under the small projects category, and we're going to be continuing next year with some much larger sort of grants that are aligned with a vision that I'll talk about in a quick second. We also have 2 small project applications in the works right now that are going to be coming very soon. So that last bullet point there, the Sun Trail Loops vision and prioritization, this is really kind of the result of all of this planning and analysis work. We have come up with a vision of 3 connected loops through the priority area that would create unfettered access and great continual trail access between all of the 5 cities and towns. So that's Gotha, Winter Garden, Windermere, Ocoee, and Oakland, all right? So what are we moving on to now? I've got a couple of images on the screen. The largest one there, you'll actually see that Sun Trail Loops vision. That's our vision for the future. We've got a lot of momentum behind it. You'll see a couple other pictures of us out there in the field. We're working with the community and doing trail enhancements, measuring things on the trail for safety, etc. So what are we moving forward to? So we've done that foundation, we've done a lot of planning and analysis, and now it's really the action phase that we're looking forward to in fiscal 26 and beyond. We are continuing with the Trail Network Development Working Group. That is our priority. We want to continue to develop the trail network out here. So we will continue facilitation of that trail grant program. We will be providing direct support to the partner cities and towns for trail grant research and trail project support. That $5 million is phenomenal, but it doesn't build a lot of miles of trails, so we want to activate our collaborative partnership to empower all of the partners to go find additional funding as well. And we are developing a request for proposals right now for a network-wide planning and design study for those Sun Trail loops that we identified. That is something that we're going to be able to fund through the HWTC funding that we already have. And we believe it'll be a great help to help the towns and cities identify additional funding and get some of that initial conceptual planning and cost estimates out of the way for a lot of the trails you already had planned. And some of the trails that we identified could be beneficial to your communities as well. So with that, it's a very quick update on 4 years of work, but it's been a while since we've been here, so I wanted to take the opportunity and give you an update and let you know what's kind of coming in the future.
We thank you. Any questions from the commission? No, sir. We thank you for coming and giving us the update. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, staff recommends approval of the Healthy West Orange Trails Connection funding agreement for fiscal year 2026 with Bike Walk Central Florida in the amount of $20,500.
Do we have a
Questions?
motion?
Is it, any questions or no? Okay, thank you.
If you have a question, just you come up with your name and address and ask.
Okay, I can ask. Do we go? Yeah. Okay. 29 Hawkesbury Court. I'm probably late to the game on the whole trail thing, but is there a reason that we want to connect all 5 like cities with the sidewalks, with the trails? Did they think about, you know, you go city to city, and I know there's issues on the trails, you know, with crime or things like that, and so you go from one city to the next, so is it gonna make it tougher on like our police, keeping things safe for each community when you pass into the next one? I was just asking, and if we got $5 million for grants, well then why are they coming back to the city for $20,000? That's all.
Good.
Did she give her name for the record? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know I've seen you.
Yep, Troy Knight.
Troy Knight.
Yep,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
So I'm late to the game, I know. Not knowing why.
What I understand, it's a good economic driver, correct, for our cities.
Kelly, you can certainly definitely.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the first point, that $5 million is specifically earmarked for trail projects. So none of that money gets kind of folded into any of the administrative costs that we have to incur, because we want that money to actually go towards the projects themselves. So that's why we're asking for this. Yeah, I mean, the reason why, this all stemmed from Healthy West Orange and their desire to make Orange County and all these surrounding municipalities, the healthiest area in Florida. And so, part of that initiative is getting people out, getting people active, getting people on the trails, walking and biking and interacting with nature. And so, that's really the importance of adding these trails and encouraging people to get outside and to be active and, lower our healthcare costs and live healthier lives. And so that's really at the end of the day, why we're doing this.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's a large amount of crime that's occurring on the trail. Biggest thing is the middle school kids walking. Like crime walking down from, through town.
Toilet paper.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Diane Hobbs, 3549 Turning Wind Lane, Winter Garden, Florida. My question is, are other cities contributing the same amount?
Yes, Ocoee.
Yeah, so all of the partner organizations, it's kind of a sliding scale. So Ocoee is paying the exact same amount that we're paying because we're the largest municipalities. The smaller municipalities like Windermere and Oakland, they're paying slightly less, just based on their, the population size and the resources that they have available. But yeah, Ocoee and us are paying the exact same amount.
So what would that combined total be, approximately? Do you have the?
Yes, absolutely, so.
Foundation for Healthy West Orange is paying $39,000.
Yes, I do want to mention that. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
The Foundation for a Healthier West Orange is paying $39,000 for this year. Both the Co and Winter Garden will be paying $20,500. We have $5,000 each coming from Windermere and from Oakland. Gotha is the fifth partner city or town. They're census designated place. They do not have an operating budget, so they will not be contributing. So the total is $90,000.
And will you consecutively ask this same question every year?
That's a great question. Yes, so the amounts will most certainly change because the needs of the administration and facilitation of the collaborative effort change. What we have been doing from BioPark Central Florida is continually trying to draw that amount of administration and facilitation down, right? So part of our vision for the sustainability of the effort itself, right, is to knock out as much of that foundational framework work as possible before we ask the cities and townships for money. So we have been operating for 5 years now with no financial contribution from the cities and towns. So we do anticipate that this collaborative effort will continue. We also anticipate that we'll be asking for a smaller amount of administrative facilitation support per year.
And how much of that $5 million gets averaged out each year for the long-term project?
A clarification, the $5 million that was provided by West Orange Healthcare District is specifically for project implementation,
Yeah.
right? There was a separate $500,000 for project administration and facilitation. That is what the facilitation has been drawing down from that amount for the past 5 years at about an average of $100,000 a year.
And for the amount of area that you want to cover, what is your projected timeline until you run out of $5 million?
We actually anticipate that $5 million for project implementation. Our goal is to distribute it to the towns and cities in total next year. And then the process of mirroring with additional grant funds is essentially.
So the $5 million goes to our community?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
As you guys connect the trails, and you go forward, is there any chance of them doing more trees? At one point, the trails will be like, there were like canopy trees going through it, and as we build them and construction comes in, a lot of the areas of the trails kind of bare. Is there any chance of us adding more?
That's a great question. So part of this initiative is not only to expand the trail network, it's to enhance the trails that already exist. Like Patrick said, there was actually a working group who went out and did audits and found those trails that were really, sparse they weren't very pleasant to use in the summertime because there was no shade, and so, kind of identifying where the tree canopy gaps are, so, in the future, you can plant more canopy trees, so you have a more comfortable experience biking and walking on those trails. And any new trails that get developed, that would be something we're looking for, is making sure that there's adequate shade or canopy, so that, again, in Florida, it's kind of brutal sometimes to use the trails, and to make that more comfortable is gonna just encourage more people to use them, so.
Mayor, one point, and Kelly, you may want to talk about the businesses and individuals that want to partner now. I think you've reached a point in the group's efforts where you're getting requests for partnerships and sponsorships, which is part of what Healthy West Orange has really looked for, so that we don't have to have public funding.
Right, and I'm sure Patrick can talk about the partner influence as well.
I can address that, absolutely. Thank you, Kurt. So just a little bit of background, the original funding that was provided for the facilitation and administration did have some restrictions on it. Now that this will be this upcoming year will be the last year that those restrictions are really applicable. And so we as facilitators of the program have been hard at work in having discussions with additional parties, not just the 5 cities and towns. And there's quite a bit of interest out there from both the private industry and some other towns and cities in West Orange County as well. And we are very much looking forward to kind of opening the door to them so that they can participate in this process also.
That'd be great. Okay, thank you, sir. Anything else? We need a motion.
Motion to put recommendation, for the Healthy West Orange Trail Connection.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Hello, my name is Dylan Torres, 15545 I Drive. And good evening, Mayor, good evening, Commissioners, good evening, residents of Winter Garden and everyday Americans. The thing I want to cover over is with the trails, is there going to be connectivity between like neighborhoods and commercial, like plazas, for example, so it's like more like open for like people to like travel on? For the trails.
I'll say like West Orange Trail.
Yeah, for the trail project.
We can have staff follow up afterwards, she's gonna get better.
Yeah, you coordinate it with him.
After.
Oh, okay.
And the second thing I want to cover over is with the annexation, this is what I covered last meeting as well. Is it possible we can have a dollar amount on seeing how much expenditure it may bring to the city or how much revenue we may generate in the city for the annexing of the property?
Yeah, I don't think it's hard to generate the amount of taxes based upon what is there now. Obviously, you have to wait to see what kind of development does occur on the property to be able to determine
Okay.
what.
And is it
there's
possible
also
to
to do that. Yeah.
to get the visible amount in dollars?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all I was saying. Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. From our city attorney,
No report, Mayor.
city manager.
Very briefly, I just want to take this moment to congratulate Laura and all of our staff for the very good work they did on preparing this year's budget. We started very early in the calendar year, certainly challenged them with moving to zero-based budgeting. Obviously, we've all had some challenges that we've had to deal with throughout this budget process, and they've all done an extremely wonderful job, and thank you. That's all I have.
Commissioner Bennett.
Thank you very much for boiling it all down for us, for the big booklet we got, and then this was a little bit easier to digest, and then the meetings and all of our work. I really appreciate it. We couldn't make decisions and do it without you.
Okay, Commissioner Doug.
Same thing, thank you for making it easy for us to understand and for the hard work. I know that working with numbers and making sure everything is good can be difficult. Thank you to the first responders, police department. And I want to say thank you to all of you guys that came in from, to talk to us. It is very nice to hear your voices and to have someone to talk. Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.